we shouldn't feel ashamed that we use the tool of media for entertainment or education. It's a wonderful tool
hmm
when it's used properly, when we can trust that it's doing what we seek for it to do.
There are days when I just want to sit down and just absorb stuff that's easy.
Sure.
I don't want to have to think through anything. I want to watch a fun movie, a simple movie, something like that. And that's where YouTube and all that stuff comes in, right? And it's easy to put our kids in front of the TV and say, here,
Yes.
or in front of their tablet and say, here, just do this so I can make dinner. And we think that
hmm
YouTube Kids is safe for them. Talk about the dangers specifically of YouTube Kids. Why is that worse than regular YouTube?
Well, because we think it's safe. That's the very problem, is when we hear family friendly and we hear made for kids, we think,
Mhm.
oh, well, it must adhere to the values that I think would be safe for a child. But
Right.
if we've learned anything from what's happening in the libraries, just because it says family friendly, just because it says safe, doesn't mean that it adheres or at least is neutral to the Christian values that we're, much less reinforce the Christian values we work
Right.
so hard to teach throughout the day. And you're right. We shouldn't feel ashamed that we use the tool of media for entertainment or education. It's a wonderful tool
hmm
when it's used properly, when we can trust that it's doing what we seek for it to do. And so, living in Alaska, let's say I'm driving to Fairbanks. Everything's far away, right? Everything's 8 hours away if we want to get anywhere.
Oh
Let's say I'm
gosh.
driving to Fairbanks to go see Denali. Well, maybe I want my son to watch something while we drive.
hmm
Parents are handing their kids YouTube Kids, and it's not safe. There's three types of content I find problematic. There's the things that we openly agree are not good. The great majority of people agree, and that YouTube Kids has worked to curtail children's videos where they slip in pornography or something else that's horrible in the video, and then it flips back to kids content, which some people were making simply to trick kids into seeing something horrible.
Mm.
They've worked better at fixing that. Now we have a lot of bot content that has been made there, and by bot I mean automated content that's made that just holds kids' attention, and it can be really weird, and it's not edifying. It's not good for our children, and that content is there. We have consumer content which encourages our kids to purchase, and to want the idea of unboxing things is this dopamine fix that our kids get, and
Yeah.
they think it can only be fed by buying more things and opening them.
Mm.
There's a show with a little boy that opens a lot of little toys, very popular, and then those toys are sold in the store. And what do our kids see? They see those toys and they think, I need to buy these to open them.
hmm
Toy marketing isn't new, but YouTube Kids and YouTube has done a really great job of addicting our children to watching those unboxing, opening things. But then there's the ideology. And by ideology, I mean the worldview that's pushed to our children. One of the first videos it recommended for my son was, what's it like to be a non-binary boy?
Hmm.
If you look on YouTube Kids, there's a channel called Queer Kids. And on this channel,
Wow.
and in our ebook, Poison Candy, you'll see some of the problems here from YouTube Kids. There's a video there where a male with a beard dressed in drag sings to kids the song, It's Okay to Be Gay. He lip syncs it. And then the words drag are spelled out in little school blocks in front of the children. And then there's another video that follows that shows you how to dance and dress in drag. And that is pushed to our children as young as 4 or 5 years old. There's another video where on YouTube Kids that shows a woman playing kind of two different parts. And she says she's pretending to be this child that is going to the school nurse and says, well, I'm transgender. I don't call me that name. And the nurse says, oh, I didn't know that. I can't help you, but what could I do? And so the child says, well, don't tell my parents. And the nurse says, well, I won't tell your parents. This never happened. What happens is then the nurse says, and if you want help, go to Planned Parenthood after school. They'll help you.
Oh my.
That's what your children are seeing on the very device that you gave them and told them to watch.
And thought was safe.
Right? We thought this was safe, and these messages coming across, and there's another video where the woman reads a book, and it's called What's an Abortion Anyway? And so they talk about some abortions happen because people like their family just the way it is, or because they don't have time for that right now, as if those are options. And so we start to see that there's this critically different worldview that our children are hearing and seeing, and by de facto are being told is correct because we gave it to them and said you could watch it here.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.